When you're doing vocalist work, what is the most important for you?
I don't know if there's one most important thing. There's a kind of collection of things. One is to really hear what the original artist actually played. You know, when you do a transcription of anything, you think it's one thing, and then you say, what did they really? And then it's to make the rhymes fall in the places where the rhythms and the rhymes of the soloist fell automatically. Another is to have the content be faithful to something that speaks to the original intention of the instrumentalist. And then, of course, to sing it with that same kind of intention and to sing it with that same kind of phrasing.
Jazz is very connected to its roots. When you work on jazz standards, on famous composition of other musicians, do you have the feeling that you are part of the creative human spirit, that somehow you are touching the eternity?
Well, as much as human beings can. I mean, I suppose as much as anybody who picks up a paintbrush or tries to sing a little bit or tries to connect in different ways. I do feel like I'm trying, at least, to help the jazz history move into the future. And I'm trying to take part in that and be a small piece of it.
You are a really amazing singer, but probably like every person, you have moments when you feel insecure, when you think you can do the things better. How do you overcome these obstacles?
The way to overcome any of that is to work much harder. You know, if you feel like you're not doing it well enough, then you have to work much harder. Don't spend time worrying about it, just practice better, practice harder, practice more.
You have an intuitive relation to the words. What's behind this poetic and emotional point of view?
Just living, I guess. What's behind it? Everything that's come before it. All the questions that I've had since I was very small, and then medium, and then large. And then, you know, people I encounter, sometimes they make another question for me. It's just from being alive.
Jazz is music that happens in the moment. Do you learn from jazz how to catch the waves in your everyday life?
I try to. Everyday life can be much more difficult than art.
Okay, and one more question. In your website, you have a section called Latest View from My Hotel Windows. Mm-hmm. I like this section very much. Yes, it's very cool. If we compare your eyes, your senses with windows, what they see in the world today, what they feel while you are traveling?
I mean, I see a lot of beauty, and I hope I reflect that, and I hope that I amplify that as much as I can. But I mean, it's also, there's a lot of pain in the world, and there's a lot of anxiety, and there's a lot of things that we need to work on so that we can survive, so that the earth can survive in a way that's recognizable to us. I think climate change is it's the challenge of our time. The political problems that different nations face and different cities face, and it seems like we just grind through these things, and sometimes war comes, and I see the stuff that you see in the newspapers, but I think climate change, from a global standpoint, is the most pressing concern. But of course, I'm not in Syria right now, and I'm not in the West Bank right now, and I'm not in Africa in many places right now. So for those people, obviously the most pressing thing is stop the war and save our children, and let's get some food and water here, and that very basic necessities.